Hare Krishna. We continue reading from Teachings of Queen Kunti. We are on the fourth prayer, approaching Krishna, the all-pervading truth. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Let me therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto the Lord, who has become the son of Vasudeva, the pleasure of Devaki, the boy of Nanda, and the other cowherd men of Vrindavan, and the enlivener of the cows and the senses. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.8.21. So, Kunti Devi's prayers, so Srila Prabhupada's purport, the Lord, being thus unapproachable by any material assets, out of unbounded and causeless mercy, descends on the earth as he is in order to show his special mercy upon his unalloyed devotees and to diminish the upsurges of the demoniac persons. So we can see here the Lord being unapproachable by any material assets. We cannot approach the Lord with our material senses. How can we approach the spiritual with our material senses? Unable to. With our material mind, with our material eyes, ears, nose, not able to. We can't. You know, we need the proper apparatus. For example, to see the germs right now floating around in front of us. We can't see, and so we say, oh, there are no germs floating around. But if we bring a powerful microscope, powerful enough to see the germs, we will be able to. So we have to change that vision, then we will be able to, right? So here, the Supreme Lord, we can't approach him by our material mind or material senses, but he is kind. Out of his unbounded and causeless mercy. He is so compassionate. He's so merciful. There is no limits to his mercy. Unbounded and causeless. His mercy has no limits and it's causeless. There is no cause for him to give us this mercy. But because he's so compassionate, he gives his mercy on us. So because of his mercy, he descends on the earth. He comes time and again, he comes out of his compassion, out of his mercy, in order to show his special mercy upon his unalloyed devotees. Prabhupada used this word, unalloyed. You know, when there is a mixture of metals, it's called an alloy. But when it's not, when the gold, if it's mixed up with something, it will be called alloy. But unalloyed means pure. There's nothing else there. It's just gold in itself, pure. So to his pure devotees, special mercy on his pure devotees. There's no material desire in the heart of the devotee. And to diminish the upsurges of the demoniac persons. So to control the miscreants, like a parent. Parent will see two children, one brother is hitting another. Then the parent will intervene. Hey, why are you hitting your brother? Go sit in the corner. Don't hit your brother. You know, the parent does that. So similar, Krishna is everyone's parents. Everyone's parent. So based on our activities, we become devotee or demoniac. It's not that, and we have both the qualities. We have the divine qualities and the demoniac qualities in our heart. So we should attempt to diminish the demoniac qualities in our heart and encourage the divine qualities in our heart. So Queen Kunti specifically adores the incarnation or descent of Lord Krishna above all other incarnations, because in this particular incarnation, he is more approachable. So Krishna's incarnation, why is it known as super excellent? When he came as Krishna himself in Vrindavan 5,000 years ago, because he's more approachable. So many devotees are having so many loving pastimes with him. He's not just like sitting there that I'm God and everyone bow down to me. No, he's having loving relationships with his friends, The friends, they are playing, they're joking, they're playing so many wonderful games. The gopis, they're churning butter for him, he's stealing. All these people might say, oh, this is just ordinary Leela. What's it going to happen? What does it benefit me? You know, how do I apply it? But it shows that each of us have a loving relationship with Krishna. And we need to revive our loving relationship. What's my relationship with Krishna? So in the Rama incarnation, he remained a king's son from his very childhood. But in the incarnation of Krishna, although he was the son of a king, he at once left the shelter of his real father and mother, King Vasudeva and Queen Devaki, just after his appearance, and went to the lap of Yashoda Mai to play the part of an ordinary cowherd boy in the blessed Brajabhumi, which is very sanctified because of his childhood pastimes. Therefore, Lord Krishna is more merciful than Lord Rama. So Lord Ramachandra, he was in the palace. So not everyone could have these loving pastimes with him. Sure, his parents could and his brothers could, but then that's about it. Everyone else will look at him, oh, he's a prince. You know, so even the friends will look at him, oh, he's a prince. So there will be a difference. The subjects will look at him, oh, he's a prince. So there is more of the audarya, the more of the greatness of God, rather than being able to experience the sweetness of God, the madhurya. But when he came as Krishna, he was born to Vasudeva and Devaki. So he was born to a king, but he went to Brajabhumi as an ordinary cowherd boy. And in that, everyone could taste the sweetness of Krishna. Krishna is very, very sweet, very lovable. We like to be with people who are very sweet and loving. They touch our hearts. They make us feel good. And we want to be with them. We don't want to let them go. Why? Because they're so sweet, so lovable. Krishna is the most sweetest and the most loving. And he showed that. He gave an opportunity to so many people, so many of his devotees to have this loving pastimes with him. The gopas, the gopis, the cows, the birds, the trees, the flowers, you know, so many. So had he not become the son of Vasudeva and, no, let's see. So therefore, Lord Krishna is more merciful than Lord Rama. He was undoubtedly very kind to Kunti's brother Vasudeva and the family. Had he not become the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, Queen Kunti could not claim him to be her nephew and thus address Krishna in paternal affection. But Nanda and Yashoda are more fortunate because they could relish the Lord's childhood pastimes, which are more attractive than all other pastimes. There is no parallel to his childhood pastimes as exhibited at Brajabhumi, which are the prototypes of his eternal affairs in the original Krishna Loka, described as the Chintamani Dham in the Brahma Samhita. So Kunti Maharani, she is saying, yes, you are kind to Vasudeva and Devaki. You appeared in this family of the Yadus, and that's how she is also related to him. That's how she is his aunt and he's her nephew. But she knows that Nanda and Yashoda are more fortunate because they are able to see Krishna's wonderful, wonderful childhood pastimes. They're full of sweetness. And because they're so sweet and so loving, they're very attractive. They are they're more attractive than other pastimes. Now, and what are these pastimes? People will say, but this happened 5,000 years ago. Why should I be interested in it? But these pastimes are eternal. They're happening even at this moment in some other universe in this material world. And at the same time, they are eternally happening in the spiritual world, in Golok Vrindavan, because Krishna lives there. He's eternally having these pastimes. So he came to show us, oh, do you know what I do in my house in Golok Vrindavan? This is what I do. I play with the cows, I play with the birds, I play with my friends, with the gopis. I have loving relationships. This is what Krishna came to show us. And that's the reason it's important to hear about them. And the more and more we hear and speak about them, our memory will be realized to understand what is our relationship with the Lord. So then, Lord Sri Krishna exhibited at Brajabhumi, okay, as the Chintamani Dham in Brahma Samhita. Krishna Lok is the Chintamani Dham. Lord Brahmaji is telling us. Lord Sri Krishna descended himself at Brajabhumi. Sorry. With all his transcendental entourage and paraphernalia. Sorry about that. So when Krishna came, he does not come alone. Krishna is never alone. He's always surrounded by his devotees with his dham. So when he came. He brought his dham with himself. It's like a great when a president is traveling. He doesn't go alone. He doesn't go alone. He'll have his own fleet of cars, his bodyguards, his aides. His aides will be there, secretary will be there, people who are in charge of different things will be there. And then wherever he stays, it's going to become like a very comfortable area. It's all the rules will apply there. It's like the presidential place, non-different from his original home. So that way, that's how Krishna comes. He comes. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore confirmed that no one is as fortunate as the residents of Rajbhumi, and specifically the cowherd girls, who dedicated their everything for the satisfaction of the Lord. So it was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who pointed out the super excellent position of the Brajvasis, that their love for Krishna is the highest. And among the Brajvasis, the gopis' love for Krishna is the highest. And among the gopis, Srimati Radharani's love for Krishna is the highest. His pastimes with Nanda and Yashoda, and his pastimes with the cowherd men, and especially with the cowherd boys and the cows, have caused him to be known as Govinda. So why is Krishna called Govinda? Because he plays with the cows. He has pastimes with the cows, with the Gopal, the Gopas, the Gopis, and that's why he's called Govinda. Lord Krishna as Govinda is more inclined to the Brahmanas and the cows, indicating thereby that human prosperity depends more on these two items, namely Brahmanical culture and cow protection. Lord Krishna is never satisfied where these are lacking. So Krishna always wants the foundation of human society to be based on Brahmanical culture and cow protection. Brahmanical culture, truthfulness, humility, cleanliness, tolerance, patience, all these are Brahmanical qualities. And studying the scriptures, being, yes, tolerant, we spoke. So these qualities are there, and Krishna wants the human beings to develop these qualities, because he's saying it's only then that the human beings will prosper. Cow protection. Why? Cows should be protected because they give us the most important food, which is milk. Milk helps us to develop our finer brain tissues, which helps us to understand spiritual knowledge. Then from cows, we get so many other, from milk, we make so many different varieties of products, butter, cheese, so many desserts, so many varieties of food we make. Cow dung is so important, natural fuel. So cows, they are very important. Krishna loves the cows, and he always wants cow protection and Brahmanical culture to be protected and followed. So, any questions or comments?
No, this is so beautiful.
So we'll stop here for today. Kunti Maharani ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for listening in and joining in. Hari Bol.